Well, welcome to Home Climbing Wall TV, which is kind of like MTV Cribs, except, as you may have guessed, it's all about home climbing walls. I'm your host, Chris Gonzalez, and I'm excited to bring you along as we check out what people are building in their own homes and also give you a chance to win some free gear to stock your home gym. This week, we're headed to Colorado Springs, Colorado to see what professional Routesetter Kegan Minock has built at his own house. So, let's get to it.
What's up, guys? My name is Kegan, and we're gonna go take a look at my home wall here. We'll see what you guys think. So this is the dojo. Right now we have a 30-degree overhung wall. We have a 20-degree overhung wall. I just recently added a dead vertical wall as well. So come on in, let's take a look at it. So with a lot of people, I ended up building my home wall during the COVID shutdown of 2020. It was actually just this chunk here that I started off with. All of this, the framing is 2x6s. Essentially it's on a big grid. So we have studs every 24 inches of 2x6, and then some cross studs, for lack of a better term, that sort of connect the plywood pieces together. The framing was pretty easy. I ended up doing most of this in a day. It took the second day to actually lift it up and get it propped up here. But after like 2 weeks or so of my son and I climbing on it, we decided we wanted more. So we ended up adding an identical feature of it that is just a little bit steeper. It's framed out the same way. So relatively easy overall. The main part of the wall took about 4 days to build. The newest section here is the dead vertical wall. I have a really young guy. So we just added this. This was framed off of 2x4s rather than 2x6s. And the reason being is that it's pretty much just connecting an odd shape that was already there. So we didn't need as much support for it. And especially because it's not overhung, you can get away with 2x4s with that. The whole wall here is on a 6-inch T-nut grid. I like it. I mean, there's certain areas that I'd like more T-nuts in, but I can just fill in the gaps with screw-on holes. I don't have to bolt everything on. So the flooring, the flooring is an interesting conglomerate of a lot of things. There was a local climbing gym that was replacing their flooring around the same time I was building this, and I was able to hop on that and ended up buying some foam from them. So I have, I think it's about 5 inches thick of foam underneath this black foam. It's just a little bit more stable than the other stuff. It adds kind of a little rigidity to it. You'll notice I have a couple crash pads under some of the foam here. At some point I need to buy some more foam. But with flooring, I mean, for those of you guys who have climbed in climbing gyms, you know that in bouldering, that is the main hazard, is landing on flooring and hurting your ankles. So really don't cheap out on your flooring. Make sure that it's safe. Make sure you're not gonna get hurt doing it. The last thing you want is you or somebody else getting hurt at your house. So one of the things that I think makes this wall somewhat unique is that it's freestanding. You know, a lot of people build them in their basements, in their garage, anything like that. You have something to anchor to. I didn't necessarily have that. So you'll see that these support beams are actually enough to hold this together. There was another one on the flat wall here before we ended up doing this. There's actually a tree that is coincidentally in the dead center of these two walls that I have a couple come-alongs that are ratcheted to it. So essentially it's being held up by a tree. The roof was much more of an ordeal than I wanted it to be. I am certainly not a carpenter. But you know, studs every 24 inches to where the corrugated plastic can sit on it. Keeps out the rain very well. We just had some snow here last week. Everything stayed dry, everything was looking good. The big one, for those of you in Colorado, you know, we had a really big windstorm a couple months ago that actually tore down one of my trees in my yard. This thing held up just fine. Didn't move a bit, I wasn't worried about it. So if you have an outdoor climbing wall, highly recommend putting a roof over it. That way you don't have to set it up, tear it down. You're just ready to climb. You get the most out of your training sessions. So this is a greenhouse tarp. And before I had the tarp, I had like this sliding curtain that wasn't bad. It could have been easier, you know? So I wanted something that like the sunlight could still go through, but you know, still have some sort of protection from the elements, you know? The other benefit of having this on here is I can put a space heater in here if it gets too cold.
Movement Training Co.'s goal is to help outdoor enthusiasts prepare their bodies to adventure forever. And they do this through online programs, virtual consults, and more. So head over to movementtraining.co to see what they can do for you. Vision climbing is merging old school wisdom with new school technology, so you can climb smarter with Vision. One of the great things about their holds is their small and low profile. And that doesn't mean they're all crimps, it just means each one has the specific features you could want without a bunch of excess plastic taking up room on your home wall. If you want to check out their holds, head over to visionclimbing.com and also stay tuned for a chance to win a free set of holds from them, because hey, who doesn't love free holds, right? I'm shocked that all these are routes. I assume it's a spray wall.
Nope.
Like,
all routes.
I guess that's what happens when you're a professional route setter and you have a wall.
Yeah, I've, you know, I started route setting when I was 17, so you know, I've been setting for almost 14 years now. And you know, I'm also a hold shaper, so you know, that's one of the reasons why this is possible, is most of these holds are holds that I've designed and essentially guide. Not to say that I don't pay for climbing holds, but most of the holds on this wall I did not have to pay for, which makes this way of setting much more, you know, achievable. The way I do it is I actually set the routes by hold color as well as hold set. So if you're climbing on, for example, the white bulby holds, that's one route, versus if you're climbing on the white pinches, that's a separate route. One of the things that I also do is everything on my wall is actually open feet. The reason for that is A, I don't want to take up T-nuts and wall space for footholds when I can just replace them with handholds instead. The other reason is if a move is too hard, you can use a really good foothold to help you learn the movement and be able to, you know, make progress on the boulder. And as you start making that progress, you can start to choose worse and worse feet. Generally speaking, it also allows most heights to be able to do any boulder on here. You know, that's one of the big problems of gym climbing, is that you only get what you got, and short people and tall people alike may or may not be able to do the climb based off their body type. But being able to choose the footholds that you want to use, I think alleviates that issue. I'll reset the climbing wall maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times a year, usually about twice a year. Given everything on the wall right now, I believe I have 67 boulder problems on the wall. And you know, if I end up sending all of them fairly quickly, which never happens, you know, there's infinite possibilities of making up your own climbs here.
Yes, I get to sign the wall, and you get the highly coveted As Seen on Home Climbing Wall TV sticker.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thank you.
There we go, my friend. Home is where the holds are.
That's right.
Dude, it's been a blast. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming over. So that was my home wall. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll have you over to climb soon. So take care.
Huge shout out to Kegan. Thanks so much for showing us around your wall and giving us your perspective as a route setter. All right, it's giveaway time, the moment we've all been waiting for, and your chance to win these incredible holds from Vision Climbing. So here's how you enter. You have to do 3 things, but they're all super simple. Number 1, hit the subscribe button to Home Climbing Wall TV right here on YouTube. Number 2, leave a YouTube comment telling us something you liked about this episode. And number 3, follow us and all of our sponsors over on Instagram. And we have links to those down in the description to make it super easy for you. And that's all there is to it. All the terms and conditions are down in the description. Look those over for eligibility, all that good stuff, and then come back next Wednesday to see if you are the lucky winner. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you next week.